Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Minister of Health stresses before the Shura Council on the importance of coordination among medical educational institutions to raise Omanization levels and efficiency in the sector. The Sultanate is crowned with 2 Penal Youth World Cups in the International Photographic Competition. And the Memorandum of Understanding is signed by the Minister of Manpower and Information Technology Authority to support scientific and applied researches and to develop smartphone applications. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here are the details. In the concluding discussion of the Minister of Health statement before the Shura Council, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, illustrated that medical education in the Sultanate requires more coordination among its different institutions to achieve its objectives in raising Omanization levels in health sector and in improving quality of medical services. The minister pointed out that cadres graduating from nursing institutes are highly efficient compared to many other institutions. Statistics showed that 157 is the number of medical mistakes. 34,000 Omanis are seeking treatment in Thailand. The government covers 82% of healthcare sector in the country. Around 256 projects in the medical city due to be set up. Members of Majlis Shura raised many questions of the projects which were not implemented in the 8th five-year plan, even if they were transferred to the current 5-year plan. The ministry has implemented 36% only of the projects of the previous plan. The session shed light on the importance of amending the medical regulation and the timing of opening and closing health centers, the necessity of providing female cadres in some specializations, applying health insurance, facilitating patients' transfer from governorates to Muscat, and the public distrust in Suhar Hospital and in health services provided to them at health institutions. The minister also mentioned the disclosure of medical artichokes in India and London attributed to reducing expenses reasons. Represented by the Photographic Society of Oman for the Sultan Qaboos Higher Center for Culture and Science, and for the second consecutive time, the Sultanate crowned with 2 Penal Youth World Cups in the International Photographic Competition. The competition is organized by the International Federation of Photographic Art. The Sultanate is the only Arab country winning advanced awards in youth under both 16 and 21 categories. Under the 16 category, the Sultanate scored 424 points ahead of Germany and Russia. The category under 21, the Sultanate scored 473 points ahead of Italy and Germany. In the individual level, members of the society got 6 prizes. Oman airplane Boeing B737-800 had 2 tires blew up while landing on a runway of Abu Dhabi International Airport without recording any injuries. The plane took off on its scheduled flight yesterday evening from Muscat to Abu Dhabi with 150 passengers and a 7-member crew. The national carrier emphasized that no injuries were recorded as a result of the incident, and all passengers took buses designated to transport them and arrived at the airport building safely. Oman Air plans to conduct a comprehensive investigation on the circumstances of this technical incident. In spite of carrying out comprehensive maintenance procedures for this kind of airplanes, it mentioned that the top priority is to preserve safety of passengers and employees by abiding with the highest degrees of security and safety. In a previous news bulletin, Osama bin Karim al-Harami, First Director of Department of Executive Communications and Information Oman Air clarified that the reason of the incidents related to the fact that the airplane was exposed to opposite strong winds while landing on the runway and resulted in hitting hard on the tarmac and exploding. To enhance free software at the level of the Sultanate and virtual reality programs, Minister of Manpower signed a memorandum of understanding with the Information Technology Authority with the aim to develop smartphone applications and entrepreneurship programs in addition to support for scientific and applied researchers related to IT technology through workshops, through intensive courses and workshop for lecturers at colleges of technology in the Sultanate. Scouts and Guides in Sultan Qaboos University held a ceremony to celebrate 25 years since establishing University Scouts and Guides. On this occasion, University Scouts launched its e-application and republished its specialized magazine, Riyada. Serving and developing society in cultural, health, sports fields is the logo of University Scouts. Through the e-application, people can acquaint with University Scout services and keep update with their activities. The Riyadh magazine focuses on dedication and contribution of University Scouts in developing and serving society and dealing with the issues. It is worth mentioning that the University Scout achieved a number of prizes on the local and international levels. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Sultan Qaboos College for Teaching Arabic to non-native speakers organizes a cultural event in the governorate of Dakhiliya.
نتكلم عن أدب عماني يجب أن نعطيه حقه في فترة ركود.
نصيب يشابه بيوت الغنى مو صدى بيبانها للطارقين.
القصيدة في الأساس هي فكرة، بس كيفية تبسيط الفكرة للمتلقي.
وش فيك واقف تنتظر؟ من تنتظر؟ وأنا لي أكثر من عمر وأنا مقضيها مسيرة.
القصيدة الواعية هي القصيدة اللي تؤثر مباشرة في الروح. عطني دقيقة من يديك أقطف لك الدنيا، قلب يشتاق لك ويموت فيك.
الشاعر اللي ما عرف يلفت انظار يترك مجال الشعر ويتبع اموره.
غيم القصيد البرنامج المهتم بكل ما يهم الشاعر والشعر في ساحتنا الشعبية هنا في عمان.
تشرق الشمس بفقرات متنوعة، برؤية عصرية، بنكهة مختلفة، وأجواء مرحة، بروح عمانية، ليفوح شذا اليوم مع قهوة الصباح.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Royal Air Force of Oman organized an evening event on the occasion of end of competitions and activities of the year 2015. It included artistic exhibition comprised a number of creative works, artistic portraits, miniatures, models, collectibles, which affiliates to the Royal Air Force of Oman participated within various bases and directorates. There were artistic varieties, expressive national poems, delivery, singing, operetta and musical excerpts presented by Music Band of Royal Air Force of Oman. The event was presided over by Her Excellency Dr. Rawia bin Saud Al Busaidiya, Minister of Higher Education. More than 20 million Omani Riyals worth of real estate activities registered last March in the Governorate of the Far. Fees collected in the same period was worth more than 362,000 Omani Riyals through transactions included sale, grant, inheritance, exchange mortgage and redemption and benefit. 19 land residential plots were made available in Tusnad in the Wilaya of Mazuna. In the Governorate of Dakhiliya, the real estate activity amounted in March more than 20 million Omani Riyals through registering 3,000 sale grant, inheritance, exchange mortgage and benefit contracts. A graduation ceremony was held at the Middle East College under the auspices of His Excellency Nasser bin Khamis al-Jashmi and the Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. More details in the following report from Al Bustan Palace Hotel. Celebrations were held last night amid rejoicing graduates of Middle East College on their educational achievements in Archives and Records Management program, where 257 graduates received either a diploma or bachelor degree from the chief guest, His Excellency Nasser bin Khamis al-Jashmi, and the Secretary for Finance, in the presence of Chairman of the Middle East College, Dr. Abdullah al-Sabahi, Dean, faculty and eminent dignitaries from various ministries, together with graduates' family.
Documents management is a very important subject, and it's science by itself, and actually the authority has been mandated to manage the Sultanate documents, and since inception they managed really to enhance and upgrade the management of documents in Oman. And of course what we saw today, the graduation of another batch of graduates in this field will support that objective to enhance the management, which is the memory of the whole nation.
Dr. Hazim Ali, head of the Department of Records Management and Archival Studies, in his speech congratulated the graduates for their achievements and hard work in which facilitated their way to reach this successful stage. Dr. Hazim outlined the spectacular growth of Middle East College during the last 14 years. Dr. Hamad al-Dhawiyani, Chairman of National Records and Archives Authority, congratulated the graduates of the Middle East College and staff for such achievements, and he said these graduates, who have been well prepared with scientific knowledge and skills, will be an asset to the organizations in building up the system required in this field. He pointed out that these graduates are required in ministries who will be in an effective position in implementing archives and records management.
The records management system is very important branch as other branches to protect our national memory and to protect the right of individual and groups. So Sultanate of Oman implement this new modern system, which is based on ISO 15489 in the government and in the private companies, inshallah, in the future.
We waited this day from years, and alhamdulillah we arrived today and get the certificate. Of course we worked hard to get, and I hope to do very well in my job, inshallah.
During the ceremony, speeches from the graduates were presented, in which they commended the efforts of the college, faculty and administrative staff.
We had reached this day after 4 years study hard and everything. Alhamdulillah, thanks for my teacher and thanks for my family. And I hope so that the program helped me to practice the things what I had studied in my work.
Number of students were presented with award for their best performance in their studies. It is worth mentioning that Middle East College is the only college in Oman offering Archives and Records Management program in coordination with the National Records and Archives Authority. Within the aim to teach Arabic language to non-native speakers and highlight the Omani cultural heritage, Sultan Qaboos College organized a cultural event in the Governorate of Dakhiliya. The ceremony witnessed an active participation of Turkish students who are currently studying Arabic language. The ceremony contained a group of poets, nasheeds, in addition to knowledge competitions that reflect the importance of Arabic language. The ceremony included the inauguration of an exhibition accompanying the program that includes portraits and scientific books which contribute in serving Arabic language. At the end of the ceremony, winners and participants of the best educational project which applied Arabic language grammar were honored. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs organized a voluntary campaign to clean the beaches and coral reefs in the Demaniyat Island reserves. The campaign, which aimed to clean the reserves from the debris of fishing nets, witnessed participation of more than 350 volunteers. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Al Brahmi discussed in its fourth meeting of the year the condition of the private health institutions and the services provided by them. The Council also reviewed a number of issues such as putting the telecommunication transmission towers on residential and commercial buildings. It's worth mentioning that more than 38,000 patients visited private health institutions in the Governorate during 2015. Marking Teachers' Day, Directorate General of Education in South Sharqiya honored 193 educationalists from various schools of the Governorate and 10 people of educational initiatives. This annual event comes in recognition of efforts exerted by teachers and in appreciation for their role in the society of upgrading capabilities and skills of students. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Ali bin Khalfan Al Jabri and the Secretary of the Ministry of Information. Sur Hospital, in cooperation with the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of South Sharqiya, organized the activities of Arab Deaf Week. The event included a number of activities with wide participation from society members, public and private institutions. The event aimed to join the deaf people in the sports activities and community. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over most governorates with low clouds over the coastal areas overlooking the Arabian Sea with chances of scattered rainfall at Hajar Mountains. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate over the coastal areas of Sea of Oman. Rest of the coast, it will be south to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate along the coast of Arabian coast with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. Rest of the coast, it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Minister of Health stresses before the Shura Council on the importance of coordination among medical educational institutions to raise Omanization levels and efficiency in the sector. The Sultanate is crowned with 2 Penally Youth World Cups in the International Photography Competition. And the Memorandum of Understanding is signed by the Ministry of Manpower and the Information Technology Authority to support scientific and applied researchers and to develop smartphone applications. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, we presented to you 7 o'clock news bulletin. Thank you for joining us.